Ever feel like you're just, drowning in information but maybe still missing the point?
Yeah, like you're swamped, but not really grasping the core stuff.
Exactly. So today, we're doing something a bit different. We're going deep into a really interesting discussion,
Hmm.
and we're pulling out the key ideas you actually need, sort of cutting through the noise.
Think of it as a shortcut, maybe. A guide to understanding something uh, pretty profound.
Yeah, a personal guide. We've taken this recent YouTube talk featuring Iqbal and Nasim.
Ah, yes, the speaker, writer.
Yeah,
He does work with manzil.com, right? And those courses like Last Day Leader.
that's the one.
Mhm.
And we're digging into the insights that are really relevant for, well, for you, for your own learning and self-discovery journey.
And Nasim, he's got quite the background. Investment banking, then leading the National Zakat Foundation, NZF.
Right. Quite a shift.
And now he's more focused on helping people find purpose. His recent webinar, Life, Death, and Everything in Between, Finding Career Purpose Through Faith. That's our source material today.
Perfect. So, our mission here is to really distill Nassim's main message.
To help you, the listener, the learner, get a handle on his framework.
Exactly. Thinking about potential, finding purpose, living a meaningful life, especially how that connects to career, to your own goals.
Okay, let's jump in.
So, first up, Nassim kicks off with a pretty bold claim. Your potential is way, way bigger than you probably think.
Yeah, he argues that most of the time we just don't dream big enough. We kind of suppress our own ambitions.
We hold ourselves back.
Right. And here's a powerful idea he throws out: underestimating yourself. Well, if you're a believer, it's sort of linked to underestimating God's ability to work through you.
Wow. Okay. So it implies you're limiting the divine.
In a way, yeah, it's a heavy thought. He says confidence is like 90% of the battle.
And where does that confidence come from, according to him?
Well, for believers, he argues it stems from trusting God, deep trust.
Okay.
And belief isn't just on or off, it's a scale, right? Low to high.
Makes sense.
Real belief, he says, means having that conviction in God and really striving for him, knowing he can make anything happen.
So potential isn't despite God, it's actually because of your belief in him.
Precisely. It fuels it. That's why he stresses optimism, positivity, self-belief.
No room for just feeling down or negative about things?
None. He actually says it's better to be maybe a bit crazy with self-belief rooted in faith, of course, and ambition.
Then to be what? Lukewarm?
Yeah, lukewarm,
Okay.
always second-guessing.
Yeah.
Because, he points out, most people spend their lives wondering, what if?
And that shouldn't be your path.
Right. Don't get stuck in the what ifs.
Okay, so that's the potential piece. And then he moves on to something he calls deconstruction. What's that about?
This is really key to his whole framework. It's about taking apart the assumed ways we think, the frameworks we just accept.
Like what, for example?
Well, a big one is his critique of the word career itself.
Oh, interesting. What career? What's wrong with it?
His point is that career tends to slice up life into these separate boxes.
Your job over here, your real life over there, maybe mission or purpose somewhere else entirely.
Exactly. And the common idea is that career is central, and you have to somehow inject purpose into it from the outside.
He flips that.
He challenges it, yeah. He says, focus on your life's purpose first. That should be the core.
That makes things feel more whole, I guess.
Hey.
He also critiques other societal lines we draw.
Like education first,
Yeah.
then work. Or thinking learning stops once you leave school or uni.
Right, those should be lifelong things woven together.
Integrated, yeah. And another big one, outsourcing our futures.
What do you mean outsourcing?
Like, we hand over our education entirely to institutions or expect our company to give us our purpose.
Ah, okay. When really those things, schools, companies should just be vehicles, tools.
Exactly. They're means, not the end goal itself. He uses the example of money, resources.
How they can become the goal instead of the tool to reach a higher purpose.
Right. And he connects this, quite profoundly, to the concept of shirk associating partners with God.
How so?
By letting the means, like money or status, replace the actual objective, which should be rooted in something higher, in serving God. It's like the salary becomes the reason for the job, not the value the job creates.
That's a powerful way to frame it. So worldly things, wealth, kids, they can become distractions.
If they become the primary objective, yes. He challenges that default job and kids answer people give about their life's purpose.
Because those are responsibilities, not the ultimate why.
Correct. They're part of the journey, but not the destination itself. It comes back to perspective.
Change how you see things.
And the things you see change. The fundamental framework he wants us to adopt is accountability to God in the future.
Knowing you'll have to answer for your life.
So the goal becomes, did I live up to my highest potential in service of him?
And that idea, you alone we serve, that should cover everything, not just like prayer time.
The whole of life. He references that verse. Say indeed my prayer, my rites of sacrifice, my living and my dying are for Allah, Lord of the worlds. Because fragmented thinking, trying to keep things separate, that just leads to tension, feeling pulled apart.
Right. Okay, so we see our potential, we deconstruct these limiting frameworks. What's the next step? Rebuilding.
Exactly. Reconstructing purpose.
Yeah.
And this is built on that certainty. Accountability to God, finite time on earth.
And what ultimately matters is his acceptance, his approval.
That's the core. And your unique situation, your time, place, family, skills, that's all part of your specific test, your game, your journey.
Your DNA, preferences, abilities, they make your path unique.
Absolutely. No one else has your exact setup.
Yeah.
So the key question for rebuilding becomes,
How do I live the most meaningful life?
yes, what's the most meaningful thing I can do now? Forget the practicalities for a second, Bill's career path. Just what's most meaningful.
And suddenly those other pressures, fancy degrees, what parents want, what friends are doing, they seem less important.
They become secondary. Potential distractions even, when viewed through this ultimate lens. Because this isn't just about career.
It's about life. Career is just a big chunk of it for many people.
Right. And the final accounting will be about how you used your time, your energy, your talents. Was it truly for God?
It's an ongoing discovery process, understanding that purpose.
Definitely. And he makes a great point. Looking back, life might seem like fate or decree.
But looking forward.
It's all about intention, possibility. Strive for the highest path, the one that pleases God most.
So find your unique value add. What matters to God, to people, and to you. Your best offering.
Nail that down first. Then look at the existing structures, jobs, companies, startups.
And see where you can fit purposefully. Don't just jump in blindly.
Right. Know your why independently first. He suggests, midlife crises often happen because people didn't do this deep thinking earlier.
That makes sense. And that appointment with God is always there, so it's kind of urgent.
It is. And accountability is relative to potential. He also pushes for a mindset shift.
From just, is this allowed or forbidden?
To how can I strive for greatness for the greatest Lord? How can my actions truly reflect Allahu Akbar, God is greater?
Wow. So potential deconstruction, reconstruction, allocation, that's the pathway to change.
That's the flow he lays out for realizing that potential.
Okay, let's get practical.
Yeah.
He uses some scenarios. Fatima, final year uni, totally overwhelmed by choices. What's the advice?
Construct that ideal future, a 10-year vision. Don't let pessimism or negativity creep in.
Intention is key.
Super powerful. Align your intentions with what you believe God expects, which is the ideal. Look beyond the immediate noise. Look inward. What really resonates.
Fulfill your own vision, not someone else's script for you.
And when interviewing, be upfront. Say, here are my aspirations, here's my purpose, and here's how this role fits into that bigger picture.
That takes guts, but it's authentic. Okay, what about the doomer mindset? Feeling hopeless about the world.
Reconnect. Core principles, revelation, that relationship with God. He says fear often comes from, negative whispers, the devil.
Whereas God promises abundance, forgiveness.
Right, so despondency is almost like denying those promises.
Yeah.
Take responsibility.
That's
Be
rough.
inspired by the prophets. They face huge challenges, but acted.
Take positive action. Got it. Next, Adam. Value conflicts at work. Feels his company is exploitative.
First question.
Yeah.
Why are you there? Was it intentional? Part of a plan?
Or did you just drift into it?
Yeah. Moral tension is often part of the test. It requires wisdom, balance. Not everything is black and white.
Need a sense of the bigger path.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Pray for guidance. Talk to wise people. And be wary of simplistic halal haram labels here. It's often more nuanced.
Okay, then ball. Family cultural pressure for engineering, but passion is filmmaking.
Big one. Nasim's direct. Community respect isn't the goal. God's approval is.
So the passion filmmaking needs a purpose.
What value will it add?
Right.
What problem will it solve? Don't chase prestige. If you love it and it aligns with what God loves, pursue it.
Passion drives results.
Often, yes. He even shares his own transitions, right? Banking to NZF.
That was escaping the non-ideal, he said, without maybe knowing the perfect ideal yet.
Right. Then NZF to manzil.com, that was more self-discovery, realizing he loved conceptualizing teaching.
Trust that inner knowledge.
Yeah. Life's about clearing away the clutter so your true self can shine. Find what you love and how it adds value.
Last scenario. Khalid. Leadership ambitions but worried about ego, politics.
Again, the why. Why leadership? To impress God.
And what impresses God?
Sacrifice, effort, sincerity, not just status. If the motives are purely worldly, selfish. Own that.
But ideally, ensure that ambition is tied to a bigger mission, serving God.
Exactly. That keeps it grounded.
So, wrapping up, he really brings it back to the listener, doesn't he?
Yeah, emphasizing that you have the answers within you.
Asking yourself, what is my Lord asking of me?
Because life is that trajectory towards God. Your intention at the end, that's what's critical.
And the price of paradise, it's giving your all, yourself,
You.
your resources, for God.
It's a lot to think about. It might feel overwhelming.
Definitely. But he says, stay with these thoughts, don't shy away.
Because when you pursue what you truly believe aligns with God's will, well, unexpected doors open. Support appears.
Like the miracles in the stories of the prophets.
That's living, he suggests. Really living.
So the core message really boils down to believe in that huge potential you have.
Deconstruct those frameworks holding you back.
Reconstruct your purpose around serving God, around that ultimate accountability.
And then apply yourself. Get out there and do it.
Which leaves us with a final thought for you, the listener, to chew on.
What if the biggest thing stopping you from reaching your potential isn't your job or your circumstances or lack of opportunity?
But actually the limits you've unconsciously put on what God can do through you. The limits on your own faith-fueled ambition.
Something to reflect on.
Definitely. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.